This is Channel 2 News, coverage you can count on.
Whoever spends the most doesn't always win.
Yeah, that certainly did prove true in a number of races in the midterm election this week. A look at campaign spending tops Channel 2 News at 5 o'clock. Yeah, campaign spending was actually up for the midterm this election. Good evening, everyone. I'm Wendy DeMonte.
I'm Kristen Remington. Thanks for being with us tonight. You know, so often we see and think that the more you spend on a campaign, the more votes you'll receive, but that didn't pan out for some of the candidates this election. Aaron Breen joins us now live in the newsroom. Aaron, as we've already reported, voter turnout was low here in Nevada this midterm election, but it looks like spending was still pretty darn high.
Boy, it was, Kristen. There was a lot of money spent by candidates fighting for office, especially those in the close races this cycle. The closest race in Washoe County was for sheriff between Tim Cusanek and Chuck Allen. According to the final expense reports, Cusanek outspent Allen 4-1, yet Chuck Allen won the race. According to Eric Herzig, in that race, other factors came into play.
Allen, with, in a sense, his free name recognition that he'd built up over the years, really helped him.
Nearly $5 million was spent on television ads in the battle for Nevada Attorney General.
For Attorney General, cops across Nevada trust Ross Miller.
While Ross Miller actually outspent Laxalt in that race, Laxalt won.
Ross Miller certainly had enough money. That was a competitive race. The Miller people will blame all the outside money, but it's not like he was a pauper.
Which is not to say that money isn't an important factor.
The basic rule is you have to have enough money if you're being outspent to stay competitive.
The Center for Public Ethics said Flores defied ethical explanation.
Where money did come into play, say the lieutenant governor's race, where the Republicans could just hammer Lucy Flores and she had no money to respond.
There, Hutchison outspent Flores 3-1 and got nearly twice as many votes for it.
What's wrong with Question 3's proposed margin tax?
And it was hard to escape the war waged on the air for and against Question 3 on the ballot, the margin tax. It was personal for those who had the money to fight it, and so they did.
But it would definitely increase the tax burden on businesses that provide goods and services in Nevada.
It's estimated that as much as $8.3 million is spent on ads against Question 3. And according to the Secretary of State's office, $6.3 million of that came through the coalition to defeat the margin tax. And that worked. Question 3 was soundly defeated. Well, there's no doubt that having money for any campaign does help, but it's never really a guarantee. Covering campaign 2014, Aaron Breen, Channel 2 News.
Apparently not. All right, Aaron, thank you. The elections are over, but plenty of campaign signs are still up around town, and there's a deadline when they all need to be taken down. Chloe Beardsley joins us now live from Mill Street in Reno with more on that part of our coverage. Chloe?
That's definitely true. The signs are still up, and right now they really seem like more of an eyesore because the election is over. Take a look at some of the ones still up behind me. Now, they may not be up for very long because some jurisdictions actually require that these signs be taken down just a few days after the election. There's no way you couldn't notice the thousands of signs around town and along some of the major roadways and highways.
There are 4 different entities that we're aware of that govern when signs can go up and when they can come down.
Those entities are the Nevada Department of Transportation, Washoe County, and the cities of Reno and Sparks. NDOT requires all roadway signs to be down 30 days after the election. If they're not removed, NDOT takes them down and stores them at a maintenance facility until the candidate comes to pick them up. In the unincorporated parts of Washoe County, candidates also have 30 days to remove campaign signs.
That gives them roughly till December 4th. If they're still up after that, our crews will start picking them up as they're out and about in the community.
Sparks politicians have 10 days to clean up, and the city of Reno is on an even shorter deadline. Candidates have 5 days to get rid of their signs. We caught up with volunteer crews this afternoon.
Pulling them down, you're running against the clock and you want to get them off the street as fast as you can.
Eloy Hara is helping state controller candidate Andrew Martin with the cleanup. He says there's plenty of signs to pick up.
I think we're up to 150 by now. We started yesterday in the morning.
Eloy's expecting to finish picking up all Martin signs by the end of the day. If signs aren't picked up in time, candidates could face fines that start at $100 for those in the city of Reno. And fines with the county vary.
Based on actual time, amount of money that we expend to do that.
NDOT and the city of Sparks do not issue fines for candidates who leave their signs up, but if you do want to make a complaint about the signs, the best people to contact is code enforcement for each of the jurisdictions. Covering campaign 2014, Chloe Beardsley, Channel 2 News.
All right, Chloe, thank you. And today, House Speaker John Boehner said the Republican-controlled Congress that takes over in January is ready to work with President Obama, but also warned him against using executive action.
The president continues to act on his own. He is going to poison the well. When you play with matches, you take the risk of burning yourself. And he's going to burn himself if he continues to go down this path.
Boehner and likely Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell spelled out their legislative goals in a Wall Street Journal op-ed. On the agenda, approving the Keystone XL pipeline, a 2,000-mile oil pipeline from Canada to the Gulf Coast. Repealing Obamacare also tops the list. Congressional leaders from both sides head to the White House tomorrow to start talking about next year's agenda.
Senator McConnell didn't suggest that he's going to fold on his principles. The president's not going to do that either. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't be use that as an excuse not to get something done where we do agree.
And while they look for common ground, they will need quick compromise on other issues, including how to keep the federal government funded beyond next month.